What's going on? Uh, Hello, and welcome to this session, Solving Tactics on chesstempo.com with the Advocate. It's been about 2 months, maybe, since I've said that phrase. I haven't been playing chess at all for a while now. I was really, really sick, and my chess fell to depressing levels after I got back from, being on the verge of death. Uh, and it really made me depressed to be so bad at chess. So I stopped playing for a little while, and now I'm sort of back, and I'm gonna try and get back into the rhythm of things. Now, when I first started doing these videos, I actually started out with this problem set right here, 1200 to 1300, but I did it on what is this program called? I can't remember. ScreenFlow. That's what it's called. It's called ScreenFlow. So I did it on ScreenFlow 4 or 5. I'm not certain which one it was. And then when I upgraded my MacBook to Yosemite, I think it was, I lost literally everything that I had recorded on ScreenFlow 4, and I had to upgrade to ScreenFlow 5, which then could not open ScreenFlow 4 programs. Just a lot of backwards compatibility issues. Checkmate. Let's try turning down the sound a bit here. Sorry if that was a little bit loud. How do you solve this problem? The most important thing to notice is just the back rank mate, right? So you have this big back rank mate, and you have to figure out how to get that in. This is another checkmate. Queen check. Queen takes g3 check, king g1, queen h2 mate. Again, just the way I solved that was seeing queen h3 check, and then after king g1 that queen h2 would be mate. I actually didn't think of queen h3 check first. My first instinct was to play queen e4 check, but this doesn't work. Multiple reasons, but I think the biggest reason is queen f3. And queen takes never entered my mind. Just didn't really consider it. Okay, if you take with the knight, knight takes here, and then you run away, and it's equality. No, you're down a piece. But if you take with the queen, then rook takes, knight takes, and if bishop d7, you always have knight f7, so you're not getting trapped. So let's say queen takes, rook takes, knight takes, and then bishop c4. So the line goes queen d8, queen d8, rook takes d8, knight takes d8, bishop c4, taking the squares away from my knights, There's g4, g4, knight f4, h5, king c8, h6. King takes h7, he would have knight g6. So queen takes. I mean, it is, of course, it should be winning, but I'm trying to figure out how I can keep my knight. Queen takes, rook takes, knight takes, bishop c4, f4, 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 king c8, pawn takes e5, king takes d8. How about queen takes, rook takes, knight takes, bishop c4, rook f1, king c8, rook d1. And there's no way he can get at my knight. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be the key. Maybe I could throw in g4. Queen takes, knight takes, bishop f7. Oh no, rook f1 runs into bishop takes f1. How are you supposed to get your knight out then? This was my idea. This is the line that I calculated. So I'm thinking here, h8 here. And he is just in time, huh? Yeah, he's just in time. So I'm not certain about this line. Maybe maybe better than that is to just pick up this pawn and play like this. Okay, queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes, e6 is simple enough. I don't see any big issue with any of that. Queen takes a2. There's an argument to be made for taking on g6 first, but not really necessary. But yeah, queen takes d4, queen takes a2, and then queen b4 should hold everything together. Jacob Agard with the white pieces. It's very strange. Strange problem for Agard. So I could take that knight, and if queen takes, I can play rook takes e1, check. And if pawn takes, obviously I'm winning the queen. Piece up. Capturing the defender. So after, in this position, the knight protects the queen. Rook takes forces the capture of the queen. The queen must give herself up. And if she runs away, I take the rook, and if she takes the queen, I take the rook. In either case, I win a piece. Yay me. So rook takes should win a piece, yeah? Rook takes d, and if rook takes d, I have a revealed attack with the battery of bishop and queen. And there's not much he can do about it. Rook takes something like f4 fails to rook d1 check, after which I'm a rook up. Rook takes, queen takes. If queen takes, bishop takes. And rook d8, I have knight d6. So rook takes. And yeah, just after any white move, there's no way to really recover the piece. There's some pressure here with queen takes, bishop, meh. Bishop takes rook d8. And then I was thinking, moved my screen a bit. I was thinking in this position that there wasn't much to be gained. Still threatening, knight takes e2. Alright, so there's a check that wins a piece. Yeah, queen d5 check is a simple double attack. We should take with the queen, since the rook needs to protect the bishop on a1. Alright, there's pawn check, king takes e3, bishop takes c2 check. And now the thing to pay attention to is pawn check. Can the king go somewhere else? He can't go to e1. He can go to f2. If f2, do I have check here? f2 check. So something like check, king f2, e2 check, king f2. Got to be winning there. Check, king f1. Many roads lead to Rome, but the biggest problem here is like the g6, right? So pawn check. Well, I mean, I guess I always have bishop takes g6. Pawn check, king f1, pawn check, king f2. And the problem is that bishop g3 doesn't really work. So after king f1, I'm kind of... Well, you know what I could play is I could play king f2. Or rather f2. So f3 check, king f1, f2. This doesn't work. So let's say rook g3, no. Let's say rook g4. Rook g4 looks like the only real square for the rook. So f3 check, king f1, f2, rook g4. Then I would have e2 check. If king takes e2, if knight takes e2, I take the bishop. If king takes e2, I take the bishop with check. If king takes f2, so f3 check, king f1, f2. If bishop takes, pawn takes g1, queens. F3 check, king f1, f2, king g4, rook g4, e2 check, king takes e2, bishop takes check, so king takes f2. And now if bishop takes, I don't actually have e1 queens, is the problem. So king takes f2. I don't see a follow-up there. F3 check, king f1. Wow, this is it's giving me some problems, this one. F3 check, king f1, and e2 check, king f2. Very strange. Yeah, you can tell I'm very much out of practice. F3 check, king f1, king f2, g4. I suppose, I could take, knight takes, and then king f5, hitting the rook. Rook g3, no. So the rook goes where? Back to g1? No. The rook goes to h2, I guess. So f3 check, king f1, f2, rook g4, bishop takes, knight takes, king f5, rook to h2. And I'm clearly winning there, but it's gonna take a bit of time. It's not the killer blow. Oh, that makes things much easier. So what's the idea behind f3 check, king f1, bishop h2? Bishop h2 is the knockout. I considered something like this, but I figured it would just be too slow. I mean, the idea is obvious, like, right, bishop takes here, and if king takes, then you're going to queen. Needs to save the bishop, and he needs to stop e1, so... So you're still queening. But... Yeah, understandable. Okay, so king f1, bishop h2, and if rook check, bishop takes, this will clear the board, huh? Yeah, that will clean it up. Let's do one more problem, and then I'm just going to start another video just to continue the 1200, 1300 series. Black to move. This should be a checkmate. Rook d2, check. Rook d2. The king can't go here, the king can't go here, the king can't go here. He's checked. Yeah. Rook d2, check. Alright, if bishop f6 check, I'm picking up the knight on c3. So he would need to give up a piece. Then knight e2 check, king f2, and that's all she wrote. That's an odd choice. Very odd choice. He should give up the rook, no? Why wouldn't you give up the rook? Rather play a piece down? Okay, that'll be it for this session. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you learned as much as I did. And take care until the next time. Bye-bye.